All right, let's have some fun. The left-wing liberal media is desperate to blame Republicans for the Obamacare failures. Oh, it's horrifying. A New York Times article out today is entitled, "Millions of Poor Are Left Uncovered by Health Law." Now, I've been reporting exactly that right here for months. It shouldn't be breaking news, not even for the New York Times. So why does Obamacare only cover 40% of the 50 million folks the president said that we were passing Obamacare to cover? Well, according to the New York Times, there's a very simple explanation. Quote, because they live in states largely controlled by Republicans that have declined. By the way, that should be who have declined. I'm just correcting the Times as best I can. Who participate in a vast expansion of Medicaid, the medical insurance program for the poor. You're kidding, right, New York Times? Who knew the Times had a sense of humor like that? So let's see if that's really right. 26 of our states, 26 states have rejected the Medicaid expansion. The reasons for doing so: Medicare, Medicaid, and the Children's Health Insurance Program already account for a whopping 22%, just about 22% of our budget, $732 billion. The federal government will pick up nearly 100% of that cost for new Medicaid enrollees until 2016. So why don't the states leap at it? Because after 2016, state taxpayers will be on the hook for almost 100% of the cost. Now, 10% of the cost, I should say. 10% may sound like a small amount, but it's big money, and they don't have control over it. In states like New York, that 10% would amount to $52 billion over a period of 10 years. Florida and Kansas, these two states, $20 billion in new taxes by 2022. But don't tell that to the left or the New York Times. Their goal is to transform our healthcare system into government-run healthcare, so let's not get weighed down by the facts. Unfortunately for the Obama administration, the American people aren't buying it. The Obama administration says that on Obamacare's first day, 4.7 million people visited healthcare.com, the federally run exchange that serves residents of more than 30 states. But according to the London's Daily Mail, fewer than 1% of visitors actually signed up. The figure may even be a little high there. 7 million people uninsured. Let's take a look at some of these dismal statistics. 7 million uninsured in California. California first reported an impressive 5 million people visited its healthcare website on the first day of enrollment. Oh, but that was a little optimistic. Turns out the real number is their counter didn't even work. 645,000 people. Let me rephrase that. Those are hits. We don't know what they really amount to. How many people actually applied online? Well, there we go. This is how popular Obamacare is. 0.2% of the uninsured. Now, I don't know how much of this is a result of just ennui, glitches, technical problems, or indifference to Obamacare. But Connecticut has 345,000 uninsured residents. It took 167 applications for Obamacare. Think about that. We're talking $1.8 trillion, folks. 0.05% in Connecticut. Well, as to how many people signed up nationwide, we still don't know, because the Obama administration will not tell us all. But one thing is clear. Obamacare at this point is failing, and it has not a thing to do with Republicans.
On March 23, 2010, President Barack Hussein Obama signed into law the Affordable Care Act, commonly known as Obamacare.
Is this your first prostate exam, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, but that's not the problem.
So what's the problem?
It's not very private.
That's why they call it public health care, Johnson.
morning, Mr. Johnson.
Nothing to worry about. You're my 93rd patient today.
Hey, buddy, hurry up. Mira's running.
Assume the position. Now, this might hurt just a little bit, but thanks to our president, we now have Obamacare.
How long have you been in this office?
I've been in this office 12 years. I was the first doctor to come into this building. The frustrating part of my day is I have 2 employees that work nearly full-time fighting Medicare and other insurance carriers for work that I have done. I absolutely detest that part of my life. I never imagined that I would do work and then have to fight a third party to get paid for the work that I do. So that part is particularly miserable. We're also being portrayed very poorly by the media, or we have been in the past. And now we have to fight the government. I mean, I never imagined that I would have to become politically active to take good care of my patients. And so that's added a whole nother element to the life of being a doctor. I took Medicaid until about 4 years ago. Medicaid paid none of their bills in my office for 18 months. And every single registered letter that we sent them came back saying that they had had problems with their computer, and that was why they could not pay my bills. So at the 18th month, I gave up and said, we can't do this anymore. Their reimbursement, as I mentioned earlier, is so low that I would have to see nearly 20 patients an hour to make any kind of reasonable reimbursement on it. In our community, with decreasing reimbursement, many of the primary care physicians have gotten off of Medicare. I don't actually know anyone who is taking Medicaid. Medicaid in Georgia reimburses about $30 for an office visit, and my overhead cost about $350 an hour before I take a penny out the door. So we would be looking at trying to see 20 patients an hour if we took Medicaid. So because so many physicians are getting off of these insurances, it's very hard to find places to send the patients. So a lot of our Medicare patients are having to go to the emergency room. I feel a great deal of anger. And when I look outside of myself and I look at the rest of the country, I'm very worried about the country. If a person who has $350,000 worth of education and 17 diplomas can't afford a 1,500 square foot office, what does that tell the young people in our country about education? I mean, when I was growing up, we believed that if you really worked hard and got a great education, that you would have a really good life in America. And I think what I'm experiencing personally is happening all over America. And I really worry for my young stepdaughters, because I don't know that I'll be able to tell them, work hard and get a great education. You know, this is America, you're going to be prosperous. I'm concerned about the bigger picture, not just myself.
Why do you continue to practice, given all that's happened in the last year to your profession?
I love it. I love being a urologist. I stayed in school until I was 32 years old. Also, every day when I get in my car and go home, I can think of at least 5 to 10 people that I have really helped, and so many people don't get that out of their job. So I will probably continue to try to do it until it's no longer economically feasible.
Hi everybody, today is October 9th, 2013. Can it get any worse? Obamacare exchange suffers critical account failures. Ask everyone to change passwords or register new accounts. The online Obamacare exchange system has just performed a system-wide password reset. This is a sign that a critical failure has occurred behind the scenes, either as a security breach has stolen passwords or passwords have been lost. Lost. So now everyone is being required to create a new password, reports ARS Technicia. But that's not even the worst of it. Some users are being told they have to create new accounts all over again. Individuals whose logins never made it to the site's database will have to re-register using a different username, as their previously chosen names are now stuck in authentication limbo, continues Ars Technica. Now, I don't believe in coincidence, but at the same time that this happened, the NSA vast new Utah data hub is suffering from meltdown, says the report. Though the NSA vast data storage facility in Utah is now hardly secret, new information has surfaced indicating widespread technical failures delaying its opening, including 10 meltdowns within the past 13 months. According to one official, such a fault failure can resemble a flash of lightning inside a 2-foot box and can melt metal and destroy circuitry. So to summarize what happened at Obamacare, all passwords are being reset across healthcare.gov. Many users are being told they have to sign up again under a new account name because the account name they tried to register is now in limbo. Edits to personal files are not being saved and are instead producing error messages. Nearly $1 billion spent on healthcare.gov, according to the IT dashboard, which tracks government projects. Healthcare.gov has so far cost a combined total of over $500 million. HHS seemed confident the project would be launched on time, and that's not surprising since people who push socialist government programs tend to be delusional thinkers, not realists. A massive failure of healthcare.gov is yet more proof that the Obama administration is utterly incompetent when it comes to deploying a complex IT infrastructure. And so far, the White House cannot name a single person who has successfully signed up for Obamacare. And this article goes on to say, as I predicted in Natural News article published yesterday, healthcare.gov does not appear to be a functioning database application at all, and may in fact be nothing more than a front-end mock-up of a working system. And if true, this would mean healthcare.gov website is an elaborate hoax. So if healthcare.gov is an elaborate hoax, what is the true purpose of healthcare.gov or Obamacare? When the call-in number is 1-800-F1-UCKYO, you do the math. Alright, bookmark my site. I'll keep you up to date. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.